Hello and welcome to Professor Pincushion. In this tutorial, I'm going to demonstrate on how you can take your dart and shift it from here to here. So in my example, my dart was originally at my waistline and I moved it to my side seam. Now if you're wondering why I want to do this, I have my basic bodice block and I want to take a bodice and actually make a shirt out of it. So with the dart out of the way, I can extend the waistline so it goes down to my hip, and it just makes it a little bit easier. You can also do this trick with your commercial patterns as well. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the piece that I want to actually shift my dart. You can see my dart down here at the waistline, and I'm going to lay it out, and I actually have it on a piece of cardboard. It's a little bit easier than pinning it. You can see my cardboard here. I use straight pins to pin it into place. So everything's going to lie smooth and flat, and I'm not going to have to worry about it shifting as I'm trying to transfer anything. Also, what I want to do is I'm using my block pattern, the one that doesn't have any seam allowance in it yet. You can use the one that has seam allowance, but I would prefer to use one that does not, so then I don't have to worry about that. After I have my pattern laid out, I'm going to grab a piece of tracing paper, and I'm going to go ahead and pin this into place. And I'm just drawing the main outline of my bodice here. So I don't have to worry about any of these other lines in here. And then I'm also going to draw the dart as well. So what I end up with is this. So I have the outline of my pattern, and then I also have the outline of my dart. You can unpin and get rid of your pattern that was underneath, so we just have the copy on top and we don't have anything to distract us. I went ahead and labeled some points. I have A, B, and C. Now from point B, you're going to draw a line to where you want your new dart to be. So you can draw it straight across to the side seam. You can even angle it a little bit if you want it to be a little bit lower. Even if I want it up here in the armhole, I can go ahead and move my dart here or up here at the shoulder. It's really wherever you want. I'm going to go ahead and get my straight ruler and draw it across to the side seam. So you can see my dashed line here of where I want my new dart to start. And I went ahead and labeled this point D and this point E. Get another piece of tracing paper, and you're going to trace along your line. So it's going to go from B, D, E, C, and back to B. So this area here, you're not going to A. If, for example, you drew your line to create your new dart to the armhole, then you would draw to this line. You would draw this bottom part of the armhole down the side seam to C again, and then back to B. So it would still be the same area, just depending on where you're placing your dart. So I've already done that. So I went ahead and used a contrasting marker, but I definitely recommend using a pencil in case you make a mistake. You can erase it. But here you can see my new shape in my tissue paper or tracing paper. And I went ahead and labeled B, D, E, and C, and it's just a copy of this area here. Place a straight pin through point B into your cardboard. Then I'm going to rotate my piece until my red line C meets with the line here at A. Once you have everything lined up, go ahead and tape this piece to the bottom piece so everything is in place. So you can see what I did here. Here's my dart. By moving C, I'm closing my dart, and then I'm creating a dart over in this area here. And you don't have to do it fully. Maybe you want to still keep half the dart and have half the dart over here. It's really up to you. But for my purpose, I'm going to go ahead and close the dart completely, and I'm going to tape this into place. With everything taped into position, I can then go ahead and remove my straight pin from point B. I'm then going to get another piece of tracing paper, and I'm going to lay it over both sheets and pin this into place. And now I'm going to redraw my pattern, but now it's going to be my new pattern with my dart over here. So this point is pretty much the same. I'm going to go down the side seam stop at my dashed line at point B here. So this is the start of my new dart. I'm going to go across this dashed line to point B, go across red B to red D, down to red E. So this part I'm now ignoring. So E to red C, and then back to what it normally is. So you just need to make sure that this area, you don't have any sharp angles, and you just kind of blend and smooth this curve so it's nice and graceful. So here's what my new pattern looks like. You can see this is still the same. I come down my side seam and go in and then back out. So here's my new dart, and you'll see that there's a gap here, but that's fine because we still need to shape this dart, which is what we're going to do next. I come down this way and then across to my original line. Let's go ahead and shape the end of our dart so we don't have this open anymore. Now I just rotated this, so if it looks differently, it's because it's now a different way, so it's a little bit easier for me. But this is still my dart at my side seam. Here's my armhole right here. Now normally when you're shaping your darts in your paper, you always fold your paper in a similar way to what you would do for fabric, because we want to make sure everything's going to be the same. So normally the back of the dart gets folded towards the center of the garment. I'm going to go ahead and take the bottom line of my dart and I'm going to fold right along that green line there. I'm going to bring it up to match this line here. Now I know it's hard to do with paper because it's not as flexible as fabric, but just do the best you can. Now because I'm using tracing paper, you can see the fabric that's folded underneath. Now this is what I want. Normally when I create a dart, I want the fold of my dart to end up below my dart line right here, going towards the waistline of my bodice. So that's correct. Once you get it something like this, go ahead and either use straight pins to pin it into place or use a little bit of tape to tape it in place. Next, you're going to take a closer look at your side seam line here, and you want to make sure that this line here and this line up here, that they connect and you have one smooth line. If they don't, if this one's off just a little bit, or maybe this one's off, go ahead and grab your ruler and make them line up and make them connect. Just make sure you don't have any sharp angles. You want to have a nice smooth line there. Then you're going to take your tracing wheel and you're going to go over this folded part of the tracing paper, and you're going to press down so it's pressing through the cardboard that's underneath it. Unfold your dart and you'll see your tracing wheel mark, and this is going to be the shape of this part of the dart right here. So then I'm just going to grab my pencil and I'm going to draw right over these little marks. I went ahead and used my marker to draw the end of my dart here so you can see an example of it. Now don't be alarmed if yours looks slightly different than mine. Everybody's will be a little bit different, and you can tell if it works when you create your muslin. Now normally these side bust darts aren't quite as long as a waistline dart. So what you can do is you can shorten your dart a little bit, up to 2 inches, and just draw a new line to your endpoints. That's not going to change the shape of the dart here. So to do that, we already have a folded line going down the middle of the dart from when we were shaping it and we're folding everything. I'm just going to measure from this point, let's say measure down 1.5 inches, make a mark in that fold line in the center, and then draw a new line from this point to this point and this point to this point. And then that would be your new dart. You could take your eraser and erase this other part right here. Usually it's a little bit smaller, so your bust line area is a little softer and the darts aren't going to be quite as noticeable. So here's another shot of our before and after. We have before, dart at the waistline, after, dart at the side seam. Our book, Professor Pincushion's Beginner Guide to Sewing, Garment Making for Nervous Newbies, is now available to order. Go to professorpincushion.com/books or click on the link in the description to see a list of vendors where you can purchase it.